When I first moved to Mexico City last summer, I really believed that I was stepping into a new chapter of my life. I imagined a home here, creating a life full of art, and growing alongside somebody that I loved. I imagined stability, greenery, and a future that finally made sense. But life doesn't always unfold the way that we picture it. Sometimes things are falling apart so that it can really come back together the way that it's intended to be. Not long after this new year, my relationship ended. I don't think that I was prepared for how deeply the loss would hit me. It's one thing to end a relationship in a city that you're familiar with, but I very quickly found myself completely isolated in a new country without any friends or family and living in the middle of the mountains by myself. And I found myself grieving not just the person that I was with, but the future that I thought that we were building together. All of our plans and this vision that I thought we had so carefully crafted. For weeks, I barely even left my bed. Time went by really quickly and really slowly at the same time. And I could feel that when it first happened, every single cell of my being just wanted to run back to Los Angeles and pick up where I left off. And I had this idea of like nothing is ever gonna stop me in my path ever again. Although things weren't that easy. As much as I wanted to pretend like none of this was happening and to be able to just slip back into my old life, things had changed. And even before leaving Los Angeles, I really questioned my future of living full time in that city. And deep down, another part of me knew that running is not going to heal anything. So I chose to lean more towards growth and facing myself rather than trying to escape the discomfort that I was feeling. And I decided to stay. Although it was really hard, the power goes out regularly, which takes with it not only the electricity, but also the way to heat hot water for showers. There were many times where I was a few days without water in general. That's just kind of how life is up here. But aside from all of the physical logistics, I really wanted to look at the parts of myself that needed tending to. And so I was journaling a lot. I've been gently moving my body and making simple meals when I had the mental capacity to do so. And I started peeling back the layers and realizing that I had to confront this inner fear that I didn't know that I carried. And it was this fear surrounding doubt and this really deep belief that I wasn't capable of doing life on my own. So by slowly tending to myself and shining a light at those deepest corners of my mind, I slowly began to feel parts of myself come back. Well, I told myself it was okay to lay in bed and cry and feel the feelings that I needed to feel. I knew that there were still logistical things that I had to figure out, like the lights and the water when those things came up, but also grocery shopping and having the mental capacity to choose what things I'm going to make and what I'm going to buy. And all of that was really triggering, as breakups usually are. You're very used to living life with someone, and when that changes, a lot of your stability is threatened. Eventually, I made my way down from the mountains into the city and back into the ceramic studio. I went in with the intention of making bowls and cups and something simple, and then I remembered my houses. I think I got so caught up with the holidays and this breakup that I honestly kind of forgot about them. And I had started them as thank you gifts for family here in Mexico, and they were a way of showing gratitude for the love and support that we received when we first arrived. But halfway through making them, my life shifted in ways that I just never expected. For a long time, I couldn't really look at them. They just felt like reminders of a future that no longer existed and would never exist. I thought about recycling the clay, but at this point, they had already been bisque fired, which means that that's not possible. I honestly thought about breaking them, and it was as a physical way to release everything that I thought I was building, but I put so much love and care into them, and something inside of me just said, finish them anyways and see what they become. So I chose to continue. I waxed the bases and then dipped them into a clear, glossy glaze. And I remember thinking maybe they'll crack or maybe they'll blow up in the kiln. And somewhere deep inside of me, part of me really wanted that. But they didn't. They came out really beautiful. I am still very heartbroken and grieving, but I'm also very, very proud of myself. I'm proud that I didn't give up on them, and I'm proud that I didn't give up on myself and my creative vision. And I also realized something else. I cannot keep them, but I don't want them to disappear either. I want them to live on in homes where they will be loved and maybe even symbolize healing for someone else. So I'm offering a small raffle. There are 4 houses here, but only 3 will be included in it because my grandma has already claimed one and I can't tell her no. Each entry is $10 and entries are unlimited. You can enter through my PayPal at Julia Godoy Studio, or if you don't have PayPal, you can go through my website linked below. The raffle will start today, February 18th, and run for a week through February 25th. 3 winners will be randomly selected and announced on February 26th. I've included more information in the caption below about the raffle, including links to my website. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting my art, and for walking with me on this season of rebuilding, and for helping these little houses find their loving homes. It really means a lot to me.